Assetto Corsa has been updated to version 0.22, and with that update they've also added a new car, the Mercedes SLS AMG, and I'm going to jump into that car and give it a little bit of a pootle for you now. Now I'm also driving this on the Nürburgring sprint track, which is the Nürburgring track that they use for the DTM, and it's a smaller version of the big track. It's not really a new track, it's more just another layout. Now this car is a road car, and it's not really my cup of tea. I prefer race cars, sort of GT3 and above, up to GP2 and a little bit of F1. But if you like road cars, then I think this is going to be really up your alley. Now, the engine sounds really nice and grunty, really beefy, and then you get a little bit of a splutter from the exhaust when you come off the gas occasionally, which is really nice. And the gear shifters make a really nice, loud, clunking sound, which I'm not sure if that's realistic or not, but at least it lets you know when you've changed gear just through the sound alone. Or you can have the big dial on the screen, of course, to tell you, but it's just nice having a bit of audible feedback. I've put the pedals on the screen so you can see what I'm doing, my agricultural footwork, and, well, let's go, let's do some driving. Now, like other road cars, it's quite a heavy car, it seems that way, and it's not got the same sort of grip that you get from a race car, but as a result, you can really slide it around corners and play with it, and it's probably one of the more progressive cars in the game. It might be because it's more heavy, it could just be because of the way it grips the road, but I've got a feeling this car is going to be absolutely spectacular for those that want to do really dirty drifts around long corners. You can really power out of corners and just balance the car on the throttle as you slide around the corner, which is just really nice and satisfying. And it's just really nice as you balance the car on the throttle and sort of choose the car angle with a combination of the steering wheel and your pedals. It's really up to you as a driver. I think that's one of the things that Kunos have done really well with this Assetto Corsa. It's just how dynamic the vehicles feel, and even with a road car and the type of car that I'm not personally, it's not really my favourite sort of thing. Even then, it's still an absolute joy to drive. I made a dog's dinner of that corner. We'll just pretend that corner didn't happen. But the cockpit looks absolutely fantastic as well. Really nicely modelled. Looks like it's got some kind of like leather finish to it. Maybe it's Alcantara. Car manufacturers love a bit of Alcantara on the dashboard. But the way the lights play across it, and just the interior details are really nice. Of course, it'd be even better to look at this car in virtual reality with the Oculus Rift DK2. That would be absolutely mind-blowing. But Kunos are yet to add that into Assetto Corsa. I'm sure it will come with good time, and when it does come, I'll be very excited indeed. But for now, we'll stick to the old method of playing games on a 2D screen, and imagine what it'd be like in virtual reality. Whoa! Braking. You have to brake miles in advance with this. It's like parking a ferry or something. But I think once you got used to it, this corner is so good in this car. Once you get used to the sort of profile, the grip profile, the acceleration, the brake distance, and how responsive it is, I think that's when it really comes together for you as a driver's car. Whoa! I think it's got traction control on. Let's turn that off. I think it's also got ABS. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not locking up at all. I'm not sure how to turn off ABS in this. Normally it's Control E, I think, but I tried that and it didn't seem to work, so we'll stick with ABS for a while. Now, one of the things in the update is that Kunos have changed the force feedback a little bit. So I turned off all the slip effects and everything else that I had set up previously from the last car I was driving, and I'm just going completely by the force feedback defaults with the force feedback strength on 98%, and everything else is just on nothing. And it does seem to feel really good. I mean, the car's communicating exactly what the loading's doing. Oops. Totally lost it there. The loading of the cars communicate through the force feedback. The grip at the front and rears is really it's all conveyed through it perfectly fine. And I think there's a little bit more road texture feel. I might be imagining that. It's always hard to tell with force feedback how much is imagined or what's actually there. But I think you can, it seems to me like I can feel more of the road texture. It could just be this car, of course. Might have stiffer suspension communicating the road texture. So we'll have to try that with some other cars. But it's a really nice, solid road car. And as I say, this isn't really my cup of tea, but I think if you like the BMWs in Assetto Corsa as it is, or you particularly like drifting, then this car's awesome and really nice and progressive. So I think it's a good. It seems a little bit less snappy than the BMW when you come out of a slide. So it might be easier for those of you that are learning how to drift. It definitely seems really nice and easy to balance on the throttle. Let's try to do some slides around these. Oops. It's nice how even though it's a road car, it does have enough power to really push out the back, but then it's so progressive and stable, it just doesn't catch you by surprise. It's interesting how it understeers through that corner and then pulls out, actually. It does just feel really dynamic as I've gone too fast through the corner. Let's test out the suspension off-road. That was the intention of that. But that is the Mercedes SLS AMG. If you like road cars, I'm sure you'll love it. If you're a race car fanatic such as myself, then you probably won't put as much time into it. Though saying that, I'm definitely going to load it up on the drift track and see what scores I can get with it on there. I think that's where this car really comes into its own. And I think if you're racing online with friends as well, and people with sort of differing skill levels, I think you could end up with some really interesting side-by-side racing when someone accidentally drifts a corner when they're not intending to, and you nip them up on the inside by staying under the limit. I think that could be quite enjoyable as well. But Mercedes SLS Assetto Corsa patch 0.22. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to do another one on the patch and what they've included in it in a bit. Subscribe and like, and goodbye.